need to remember that we're in the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity, nothing we can't do if we do it together.
President Joe Biden is touring the nation in a campaign he calls Getting America Back on Track, and part of that track will bring him straight to New Orleans. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on the Eyewitness News at 10. I'm Mike McDaniel. Devin is off this weekend. The White House announced today the president will be in New Orleans Thursday. He'll also make a stop in Lake Charles. That city lost more residents than any other place in the country after it was hit by two devastating hurricanes last year. The president began his tour yesterday promoting the American Jobs Plan with measures aimed at strengthening unions, protecting workers, and rebuilding the economy. He's also highlighting the American Families Plan, which hopes to provide universal preschool, free community college, and expanded access to child care. The White House is also trying to win over Republicans who've been critical of the plan's $2 trillion price tag.
It is an investment in improving communities. It is an investment in increasing access to opportunity.
They don't have the votes, clearly, and so since they don't have the votes, they're talking to Republicans.
Senate Republicans have counter-offered with their own infrastructure proposal priced at less than $600 billion as negotiations continue.